Hello friends, last periods we have discussed about the all paragraphs, paragraph number 1st to 12. Already we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss about the questions of Gentlemen of Medio and Medio, which is written by John A. Cedillo. Yes, now we concentrate on the questions answer. Question number 1. Don Anselmo's appearance and manners were quite unusual. How would you support this statement based on the text? Now we concentrate on, we will discuss on the questions appearance and manners. Now here we will discuss about that appearance of Don Anselmo and the manners of Don Anselmo. You will prepare the two paragraphs. The first paragraph is regarding to manners of Don Anselmo, and the second paragraph you will prepare about that the appearance of Don Anselmo. At first we will discuss about the appearance of Don Anselmo. Who was Don Anselmo? How he looked like? What was the physical appearance of Don Anselmo? Don Anselmo was a good person, dominated person. He was a man of principle. He put on the coat. The coat's color was the green, faded. He put on that is a Prince Albert coat. He carried the sticks. He put on the hand gloves, which were the outdated or worn out. It was his moment was like that the Charlie Chaplin. He looked like that is the Senator Catron, means Senator, already we have discussed about that the Senator Catron. Senator Catron was a dominated person in their area, like that. She was also, that is like Don Anselmo, he was also influential person. He was a dominant person in his area. Who? Don Anselmo. It was the first question. Now I discuss about that. The second one is that, yes, what was the manners of Don Anselmo? The manners of Don Anselmo was that when already we have discussed about the two meeting, the first meeting between Don Anselmo and John A. Cedillo, and second meeting also between Don Anselmo and John A. Cedillo. When he entered to his office, and the day was fixed about that the selling his land, and now here the John A. Cedillo or storyteller called to Don Anselmo. When he entered to his room, in his room or office, he bowed to all of them. Means it was a sign of respect. And when he returned, yes, when he returned to his home, yes, he shook the hand to all of them. Means it was the sign of that is a respect, or it shows us that is the manners of Don Anselmo. Yes. Now we concentrate on the question number 2. Whose argument do you agree with, Don Anselmo or storytellers? Whose argument do you agree with, Don Anselmo or story? Give a reason. Yes, you can prepare the two questions. Suppose you agree with Don Anselmo, you can write its answer. Suppose you agree with a storyteller, yes, that is the one. You can write its answer. Suppose I will agree. Suppose I am a student and I will agree about that one point. Yes, I will agree about that the storyteller's argument. Yes, suppose I will give its answer. I agree with the storyteller's argument. Yes, what was the storyteller's argument? Already we know that by profession he was a lawyer, and according to the legal procedure, one who buy or purchase land, everything was belong to that the buyer. And so here means his argument was also a right argument. Yes, and so it is the question's answer. Now we turn to the question number 3. Don Anselmo was passionate about his land and children of Medio and Medio. Which details in the context support this statement? Write them. Don Anselmo was passionate about his land and children of Medio and Medio. He is passionate. How he was passionate? Attachment of Don Anselmo with his land as well as the children of Medio and Medio. Yes, already Don Anselmo sold his land, nearly 8-acre land, to the Americans. Why? According to him, they were a good person, the good people, Bunagin, they were a good person, and so that's why he sold his land. There was no any reason why he sold such a land. There was no any reason, and so that's why. Yes, now here his attachment means his land or his house also came from that is a mother. His land also came from his ancestor, and then what about the children? Attachment, good attachment of the children of Rio and Medio. How can we say that? Yes, here once what happened? He sold his land, signed the document or the deeds, and according to the legal procedure, yes, everything was belong to that the buyer. And the one at that time, everything told to them. When they complained, one thing is that Americans came. Actually, they were buyer. Americans were buyer. Why? Because he gave the money, $1,200 to that the 8 acre, more than 8 acre land. And according to here the John A. Cedillo, they were buyer. And generally they were buyer. Why? Because they purchased such the land. And then what happened? They came one day. What happened? They came with complaint. And what was the complaint? Complaint about that is the children of Rio and Medio. Children of Rio and Medio were running on their property. They were dancing on the land. They put play fences around the land. Yes, everything which is mentioned means they came with a complaint. They came with a complaint. When the John A. Cedillo told to that Don Anselmo about that complaint, what was the reply of Don Anselmo? The reply of Don Anselmo was that he said that I sold him my land or his land to the Americans. Why? Because they were a good person, but he did not sell the trees on the orchard to the Americans. But according to legal procedure, we know that everything was the one who signed a deed, yes, or the one who buy such the land. Everything was on this earth was belong to the particular person. And so here, yes, there was a close relation between the Don Anselmo and his people, the children of Rio and Medio. You can write, yes, like that. Now we concentrate on the question number 4. Don Anselmo's reaction to offer more money was not expected, justify that is the statement. Yes, now here, what happened? He sold his 8 acre land for $1,200. It was a transaction of that land. What happened? Before completing the transaction, John A. Cedillo sent a surveyor or the engineer to survey that land. And the surveyor or engineer found that his land was extended across the river. And here, one side they were good people. They were John A. Cedillo as well as Americans, both were the good person, Bunagid. And here, he gave information, John A. Cedillo or storyteller gave information about the land, his extra land. And he also told that they were ready, the Americans were ready to give the extra amount for that extra land. But he was not agreed to take the extra amount. Means he, in short, was that he was a good person, he was a man of a principle. And so here, yes, and here the Don Anselmo reaction to offer of the money like that means he did not accept the extra amount for the extra land. Okay, this is one. Now we concentrate on the question number 5. Read a paragraph number 5 and identify the tone or reaction of the old man while uttering, put like that, uttering the following word or words. Some examples are given. You may use any other appropriately, such that the tone are given in a bracket. Yes, tone are given in the bracket. Yes, you see, you go to the paragraph number 5, you read such the paragraph number 5 carefully, and you should find out what are the tone which is mentioned to that particular sentence. And the tones are given or reactions are given, yes, in a bracket. You see, the first mild, second harsh, third blunt, fourth one authoritative, next one is the self-assertive, confident, comfortable, polite and aggressive. Such as the tone or reactions are given in a bracket. And now here's the statements are given, or the person, statements of that old person are given here, one side, and other side you can write the correct tone for that the old man's reaction you see. Friend, yes, you go to the paragraph number 5, you will get the word that is the friend. Yes, what is the tone of that the friend? Already, yes, there is a helpline, or the clues are given in a bracket here. Yes, now the friend, what is the reaction of that? When he said that, when he told that is a friend, yes, what is the reaction? Yes, the word is that mild. Reaction is that is a, or tone was that, or is that is a mild. I do not like. Next one is that number 2. I do not like. What is this? What is the tone of that to show the, or to express the, what is the tone? That is a self-assertive. That is a self-assertive. Next, I do not these. Yes, once you go to the paragraph number 5, you will get. Yes, now I know these. Yes, I know these. That is the confident. Next one is that I do not care to be. I do not care to be. It is a aggressive. Aggressive means that is akramak, and that is the price. What is the tone of that? That is the price. The tone of that is the price is that is a authoritative. Adhikari, adhikarana is like that, authoritative. Yes. Now we turn to the question number 6. Why do you think Americans wanted to buy the Don Anselmo's land? Why? Yes, it is a general question. There is no exact answer which is mentioned in our lesson, and so, but the clues are given here. Clues are given. You read the entire lesson carefully and you should find out its answer. Why do you think the Americans wanted to buy Don Anselmo's land? Yes, and now we'll discuss here. Don Anselmo's land or the orchard was a very fruitful. His land was a fruitful. It shows us definitely his land was a fertile. Speak. Another thing is that another clue is mentioned in paragraph number past. There was a little creek which was ran through his land, and it shows us, all things shows us definitely his land was a fertile, and so Americans were ready to take or to buy such a land. It's a general answer. Now we turn to the question number 7. Don Anselmo and Americans were general in their own ways. Comment on these. Don Anselmo and Americans were generous in their own. Means here, how can we say that Americans were generous? How can we say that Don Anselmo was a generous person? Yes. First we'll discuss about that. How Don Anselmo was a generous. One day what happened, he sold his land, that is a 8-acre land, for $1,200. And the year they noticed that Americans as well as storyteller John A. Sedillo noticed that his land was a double, and he informed to that Don Anselmo, and they were ready, Americans were ready, John A. Sedillo was ready to give the extra amount for that the extra land. But he was not ready to take. He was not ready to take the extra amount. Means it shows us he was a generous person. I will put another example. Once he told that I did not grow the trees. I grow the trees only for the children of River Medio. I sold there is a land, okay, no problem, but I did not sell the trees on that the orchard. Once he told that, means he was not agree like that. Means here everything was belong to that the children of River Medio. Means it shows, this statement is also shows us he was a generous, he was a good person, he was a man of principle. So that's why it is a first. Next one is that how can we say that Americans were generous? Definitely Americans were there. How can we say that? They were a good person according to Don Anselmo. They came with Americans came and told to that the John A. Sedillo with a mild language, and here he was means they were also, Americans were ready to give a extra amount for that, the extra land. Means it shows us, yes, they were also the generous. Now we turn to the, that is a question number, that is the 8. At last the problem of ownership was resolved, but it took a long time. What might be reason for it? Write a paragraph on it. And already we know that the problem of ownership. Now the year, who was the owner of that the land? Now the Americans were owner of that the land. And according to the legal procedure, yes, he or they were the owner. But the year, means after some days, here he tried to convince him, he tried to inform about that the legal procedure to Don Anselmo. He did not know about that. And when he told to the everything to that the Don Anselmo, at last he was agreed to give the entire trees as well as the land to that the Americans. And at last they became a owner of that the particular land. Next one is that question number 9. Read the story. Arrange the given events in the order in which they occur in the text. Already, yes, the A to I, yes, such as the statements are given, and these statements shows us the entire story. And all statements are jumbled sentence, jumbled, yes, or jumbled order here. You read such a that is sentence, and you rearrange such a statement, or you put one by one. Yes, you solve yourselves. Now we turn to the question number, that is a 10. Imagine that group of 4 students endorse. Endorse means that is an opinion. Endorse means that is an opinion. The old man's view, the other group supports the American. Other groups supports the American. Write the paragraph on each group argument. Discuss with them with the groups. It is an application level questions. You make 2 groups. This group means first XYZ group is in a favor of that is our Don Anselmo. Our ABC group is a favor of that is our the Americans. You prepare such a group and you discuss about that all things which I mentioned in our lesson. Now we turn to the question number, last one is that question number 11. Imagine that your neighbor is in a fix as Americans were. How would you solve the problem? It is also general question, it is also application level questions. You can write yourselves, you give, yes, it's a answer in your own way. Yes, we'll see afterwards.